God is still working. You need to keep believing. Look around you. What can you see? Let me guess. Everything looks quiet, isn't it? It feels like God has abandoned you. Or maybe He just took a walk down the street and left you hanging. That feeling is normal. But hear this. When we are down to nothing, God is up to something. God does His best work behind the scenes. And I mean it. Don't interrupt the beautiful process He has begun. Relax. Your impatience can abort what He is doing in your life. See, I know sometimes you feel you should have moved faster than where you are right now. Hey, take it easy. Take it easy with yourself and trust Him. You are right on course. He's shaping you. He is using that situation to do something very powerful in your life, such that when you realize it, when you finally realize it, you will be wowed. God loves to do His best work in the dark, where no one can see it, when no one is watching. Isn't it amazing that one of the biggest miracles of all time, even science considers it the greatest discovery ever seen? I know you are wondering what it is. Well, think no farther. It is the discovery of how you and I were born. A child is formed in a woman's womb when no one knows anything about it. We just discover that someone is growing. And that continues until the egg moves from the zygote to the fetus, down to the baby. You see, that is exactly how God works. He does His best work in silence. You may think He should have blessed you by now. What if He is working on all the factors needed for the fulfillment of what you are praying for? He is putting together the ingredients, the people, the resources needed to fast-track that result you desire. What if God is working tirelessly to remove from your way roadblocks, obstacles, challenges, and difficulties you may face? Remember, He is omnipresent. He doesn't just know tomorrow. He Himself is the tomorrow. So why are you worrying yourself when you can just put your trust in Him? Shut the door to anxiety and fear and believe He is working carefully on your behalf. Although you may not see it now, just like when an egg is developing in the womb of a woman, every day there is growth. It may be small and sometimes unnoticed, but that baby keeps developing until it becomes very visible to all. That something has been going on behind the scene. There is a story of a poor woman whose only child was terribly sick and needed a specialist. And the specialist good enough to treat her son was very far away. And even if she can get him to come, she would be able to afford him. But she didn't give up. Day and night she would pray that God will bring the man to her. Every day she prayed and believed, but nothing was happening, or so she thought. Until one night, the doctor planned to travel for an important appointment. His flight was delayed till the next day. Afraid he might not meet up with the appointment, he decided to make a road trip, only to get stuck at a place he did not imagine because his car broke down. He tried all he could, but he couldn't get the car to start. To worsen the case, the rain started falling heavily. All of the car repairers he tried calling were not forthcoming. Because of the heavy downpour, frustrated, perplexed, and confused, he decided to take shelter at a nearby house till the rain subsided. He was drenched from head to toe. On getting to the door, he knocked, and a woman opened. Surprised, the woman called his name and told him to come in. She was full of joy. The doctor asked how she knew him. The woman narrated the story of a sick child to him. Only then did the doctor realize that the car's breakdown, the heavy downpour, and all the mishappenings was God using those events to answer a poor woman's prayer. Maybe you were also experiencing a bad time, and God isn't concerned about you. Or maybe he's just nonchalant, or he is just being insensitive to what you're going through. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is not the case. He's doing all he can to make sure you have the best life. Do you remember the wedding of Canaan in the Bible where Jesus performed his first miracle? Jesus turned water into wine. Even the guests at the feast complained to the groom why they reserved the best wine to be the last. He reserves the best wine to be the last. I don't know what you may be trusting him for. Please hold fast to that belief, because he is coming and he won't fail you. You'll be amazed by the beautiful sculpture he is making out of you. Don't forget, our God is a potter. He can make beautiful images out of your life. He can make your life so beautiful you will marvel. But if he needs to do this, you will have to trust him. God is not insensitive. He knows what he's doing. You might not understand it right now, but trust me, he knows what he is doing. He's making a masterpiece out of your life. When you see a sculptor shaving some part of the woods, to you, you may think he is wasting it, but to the sculptor, he is carving something very beautiful. You are like that wood, and God is carving a beautiful piece out of you. If only you will let him. Every action God takes is intentional, including the one he does behind the scene. Do you know God knows the number of every hair on your head? Why then do you think he will abandon you? You have trusted him before and he didn't fail you. You can trust him again. You just have to let go and let God. Trust his timing. Trust his process. Trust what he's doing in your life that you cannot yet see, because he is seriously working in your life. You may feel like giving up on God. You may even feel like throwing in the towel. You may feel like God has scammed you. You may feel like he has betrayed you. You may feel like, what's the point? It's already too late for him to show up for you. Remember the wedding at Cana? God reserves the best for the last. Don't feel let down or even overwhelmed by all the troubles you're going through. But I can assure you that God has not given up on you. So, don't give up on God. You will find out in the scriptures many times when God was silent, it didn't mean that he has stopped caring. You just have to hold on and believe he is doing that which he has promised you. How great is it to know that God has you in mind? It is not over for you. You need to hold fast on your beliefs because you are His masterpiece. And when God writes a story, it's always a bestseller. He is writing a beautiful story out of your life.